And welcome to week 11 of our house build here in the Philippines. As you can see, there's more hollow blocks going up and it's really starting to look like a house now. And up the top you can see there's metals there ready for the roofing to go up. And finished this front panel here, and really good thing that I saw where they put an extra beam above the windows and doors, and the actual beam goes right all the way through from the column to column, not just over the gap where the windows or doors going to be. And you can see even at the back there, that's what they've done all the way around. So it just gives us some extra strength in the event of typhoon or earthquake, which we unfortunately have to plan for, but that's all been taken into account in the building process. So you can see that beam going right across above the two windows and not just over the gaps. So that means there's rebar going right the way through between the columns. Which on some builds I've seen that they only do it across the gap of the window or the door and not sort of right the way through. So that seems to be a good thing to me. And there you can start to see the roof line on the right hand side. That's the roof line to the outer wing, and on the left that's the roof line for the centre. There's really three roof lines. The outer wings are lower, and then the roof line for the centre is going to come over the top and overhang a little bit there outside. And just to give you a bit of a different perspective, this is standing out front of the house at the front left corner. That's the road that goes past. It's not a great deal of traffic most of the time. The school is just 100 metres down the road, so obviously school time, there's a lot of people walking, bikes and cars and whatnot, but that's quite normal. Now, as you can see, the top of the beams up there, you see all the rebar sticking out. There's going to be a little, they call it a canopy, sticking out about 50 centimetres, I think. It's more of just a feature, but it will catch water and direct water off either side. And that's sort of a good view of the outside veranda. The block work behind that's just now been finished, and you can see, we'll go around a bit in a minute. Okay, this is looking at the veranda. You can see there's a window, and that's the door. It's basically like French doors, two swinging doors, and it's looking through to the back of, we'll go to the windows there. They're going to be massive windows on the left, centre, right. That's where our solar is going to be all housed. The house was actually designed with solar in mind. They had to do some extra work on the roofing to make sure that it can hold the weight. That's just a view that we're always going to get out front. Okay, let me just go back. We'll go back through the window. So this is like a pantry kitchen. And they've started to backfill this a little bit as we come through where the kitchen's going to be. It's going to be an island bench, door, and then dining and living area at the back. So it should be quite a nice space, nice and open. And as you can see, it's got really high ceilings. As we just duck through back to the veranda, and look, there's the wall finished. Just got to finish up the column at the front, backfill that up to that level, and there's going to be stairs going down in the centre there, leading out to a pool area. And this is back on the inside of the property, just to show you the profile of of the side of the house, and it's starting on the on that canopy. They're starting to frame all that up as well. Where the guys are standing up top, that's on that canopy. There's going to be a bit of an overhang there. That's looking at the back of the house. You can see they just finish off the last of the extra cross beams above the windows there, and there's a bit of block work to finish that off. But mostly just want to show that profile of the centre roof there, nice and high. It's looking like the side of a house now. It's really good. And they're just starting on that last room, nice bedroom there. And that's a septic system, which is right at the back of the house. Looks quite big, and they're just starting to seal that off a little bit. Not really working on that much at the moment because it's just been too wet. As I said before, it's starting to see some metal around the place where they're going to start to fabricate the roof. It's all going to be done on site. And this is another interesting development, given that there's been so much rain and the site's been closed. They decided to embark on another project. This is another project that we got them to do. It's not part of our house contract. Is just put a driveway in. Now we're at the top left of the property. Just give you a different perspective. That's our property going back. That's our car in the distance, just to give you a bit of perspective. That's the front of the property. You can see the power pole getting held up by that little rope there, which is tied to our coconut tree. Every few months, the barangay clears all the green growth on the right-hand side there around the drain. That's all cleared every few months. There's a huge drain there that fills up quite a lot when it rains, and it's never overspilled since we've been there, and even with the huge rains we've had, it all drains away. And if it does overspill to our property, there's going to be drainage from our property to take it over the edge. So flooding's not going to be a problem. But it's turning into our property now. Driveway's 4 meters across. They just start, gives us plenty of room. They're just starting to put the rebar down. That's not the final rebar. They're just starting to map it out as we go down. There's quite a big thick rock base underneath. It's already done, and you see how they pound it down with the coconut section there. And this is looking out and looking back up to the road as they do the driveway. Just to give you another perspective. I'm trying to give you lots of perspectives so you can really see how the house sits amongst the property and the outlook we're gonna have. It's gonna be beautiful. That's Tiger. That's Omar's dog. He's the one that does most of the work on the property itself and does all the harvesting of coconuts and things. It's got delivery of I'm not sure if that was gravel or sand. The sand we're using is all black sand, which comes from a few hundred kilometres down south. Apparently it's better for building. Couldn't tell you why, but there is apparently a reason. They truck it up and they actually store it right next to where we're living, actually. And then they put it on the little trucks and haul it up here. It's what apparently all the good builders use for construction, all these black sets of black sand. That's one of our engineers' trucks, I believe. But yeah, the driveway is basically a road. A lot of the crew here have experience building the local roads. All the roads here are concrete, and yeah, it's a road. when you see how thick it is and whatnot. It's not going anywhere. It's all interesting to see the process. Like I said, we're reasonably hands off. We don't need to be here. We've got an engineer, we've got a foreman who's mostly on site. Engineer comes up a few times a week, make sure everything's going okay with this initial part, getting the structure right. But like I said, it all seems to be going quite well. And just another view of the front profile as they start on the block work. And here, look at the rebar on this. Oh, that's the block maker was on site here at the front making the blocks. And look at this. This is 16mm rebar. This is big stuff. It's the same rebar that was used in the columns of the house. It's thick stuff. The driveway will hold a truck or a small truck. That's the CR, main CR. This looks small, but it's going to be quite functional. And back around to the septic again. In the background you can see the farm, the piggery's just on the left, warehouse just there. We store all our feed in that. And look at the back profile of the house now is almost done. I don't know what I'm pointing at, but I've got a nice cut on my finger. And then it's got to start on this last bedroom. But all looking good. All looking good. Now it's our greenhouse. We actually own that house. The owner, former owner of the property, still lives there, and she's got the rights to live there till she passes. She's in her 90s, so I figure, yeah. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-story house. It's sort of in between Western standards and local standards. And just another thing to note here, there is on the official plans there's plans to extend the road, so we've got to look at 7.5 metres back from the centre of that road is where our forever fence can be, which is sort of where I'm standing, and basically is just in front of the veranda on the greenhouse. Basically, they can do that at any time. If they just the front of the veranda there is where the rural fence line is. They may never do it, but it's in the plans. They could turn up and do it any day. So our forever fence is about 2 metres inside that existing fence, which gives them another lane and drainage up the side of the road. So we've got to keep that in mind. We knew about it. It's not a surprise, but that's in the plans. I can't understand why they'd want to make the road bigger, because, like I said, there's, as you can see, tell me if you've seen any traffic on the road, but apparently they're going to make it into more of a main road, but again, to where, I couldn't understand. So this is sort of the fence we've got now, which is an okay fence, but like I said, we might put up a block wall fence, and don't know yet. And that's why we ended the driveway where we did, because we don't really know what we're doing with the driveway, whether we turn it into a horseshoe where you drive in one side and drive out the other, or whether we'll just do a garage at the end of the driveway, or just a pad to turn around. Don't really know yet. It's not something we have to think about. We sort of really want to get the house finished before we do any kind of landscaping around it, because we just want to see how it all fits together and how it integrates with the whole farm. As you can see, they do use cement mixers. You can see. It's a hard job. When they're out there doing load after load to do this driveway, the temperature's about 26 degrees when it's cloudy, and as soon as the sun comes out, it's about 30 degrees, and it's a thankless job what they're doing, but there's no way I could do what they're doing. And even when they're out in the house, up on the roof, there's no way I could even think about doing what they're doing. It exhausts me just watching them. But they're doing a great job. Yeah, that's all they do. They're supposed to measure the gravel and toss it in. Everything's bagged up beforehand, and then just top, toss it in. Yeah, I know it looks like they're probably standing around, but don't worry, they do work hard. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and there's a few other side projects we've got to get done as well. Things like digging a well. We've got to dig a well as well. Yeah. That's the second well on the property, just to service the house. And it's going to be dug just over the left of where I'm filming, just where that little filter pump house is. It's going to be dug over there. But yeah, as you watch the guys pour another load in, it's just load after load. I think, I can't remember, was it 200 bags, or close on 200 bags of concrete went into that driveway. I think about 160 bags. And everything here is concrete, and I totally get it because of the weather, the rain, the heat, the weather. Everything here is concrete. All the roads are concrete. This really is concrete everywhere. And just another perspective. We're back out the front. There you go. It's really starting to take shape, the front profile. Which is good. And you can see we've got coconut trees in the back. Obviously we bought it as a coconut farm, so there's coconut trees everywhere. We took out probably half a dozen or so to get the space to build, because this space was all mainly bamboo. There you go, looking back out the front. It's beautiful. It's actually a church at the front corner of the property. It's across the road. But yeah, no, it's all coming together. And if the weather holds between now and Christmas, we'll have a roof. But we'll see. And the weather's been... It rains all the time, but most of the time they can get some work done, depending what they're trying to do. It's just the path down the pineapples, which the Carabao uses to go down there to bring up coconuts. And yeah, it's all nice green, tropical, as you'd expect. And we love it. It's beautiful. It's just a calming place. This is the final look at the profile and doing the little canopy. So keep an eye out between now and Christmas and see if you can find a roof for us.